Yo, what is going on everybody and welcome. It's your boy OneActual and this is the visual guide to the Dancing Plague trial fight, also known as Light Warden Titania. I'm here to give you a clear, quick, and concise guide on how to complete it. This fight can feel like an extreme at times, but don't fret, I got your back. If this video helps you at all, please don't forget to subscribe for more Final Fantasy XIV content. Without further ado, let's hurry up and get you into the fight. So the beginning of the fight is pretty straightforward with a couple of things to look out for. Bright Sabbath is a room-wide AoE, so healers, be ready. Phantom Rune will cover the entire room in an AoE with the circle underneath her being the safe spot. Be advised, this can also spawn the opposite way. You have time, just pay attention to the indicators. Divination Rune is a frontal cone cleave. Tanks, this is your responsibility. Don't be like this guy who decided to evoke and cleave my DPS. Lol. Be ready with those defensive cooldowns and face away from the group. Like Lakshmi. At this stage, Titania is going to say wet 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 and spawn 4 AoE water circles around here. Your job is to get inside before the purple orbs close it off so you can have a spot for water resistance before Flame Rune gets casted. Flame Rune will spawn a giant flaming fist that will float above the party and target a single party member for a stack mechanic. Simply group up for this in a puddle. Having both the water resistance and the entire group stack will make this a lot less worse than it could potentially be. Failure to do this correctly will result in a vulnerability up debuff and a possible death for your targeted teammate. Midsummer Night's Dream simply changes the arena. Don't panic, my dude. Well, at least not yet. Growth Rune, the first time, will cause these roots to come out from the middle of the map in an octagon formation. Simply stand back and make sure you're in between the sweet spots and they will eventually disappear. Later on, this mechanic will change into an L shape. Don't panic, just apply the same principle. Failure to do this step correctly will result in both a bind and bleed debuff. Frost Rune will spawn giant silver rings one at a time until they cover the whole arena. They will also disappear in the same order they spawned in. When you see the first one proc and disappear, take its spot, but move fast, because 4 members and later on the entire party will be targeted by tracking AoE circles that you do not want to stack. If you stack and manage to get hit by these silver rings, you're as good as dead. Once you get Titania a little less than half, she will summon 3 of her children, Puke, Peas Blossom, and Mustard Seed, which are 3 tree-like enemies with different attacks, and this is usually when groups run into problems. Puke has a knockback and later on a stacking mechanic, Mustard has the annoying-ass line AoEs, and Peas Blossom has the circle AoE. Kill these ASAP to prevent Titania's power. She will then raise them up and you will now have to deal with 3 giant, bigger, badder versions of their former selves and attacks, along with Titania casting arena-wide knockbacks. The order you want to deal with these is your preference. I did Puke first because with all the movement going on, sometimes we'd be so spread out, stacking would be very hard to pull off. It seemed like the biggest threat, as well as the knockback. Then followed up with Mustard and Peas. This is a very nice DPS check for being so early in Shadowbringers. So DPS, this is your show. Lay waste. You do not want Titania's power to hit 100. At this point, you've seen everything you need to look out for. Just be advised, the pace will have increased and Titania's moves stack on top of each other, so you will now have to deal with one mechanic while doing another, with more potency, such as more puddles, differences in the roots, and random divination casts for tanks to worry about. If you've gotten past the DPS check, you're basically home free, I promise you. This fight was amazing, and huge shout out to the devs for creating this experience. I cannot wait for the extreme version. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all she wrote. Congratulations on your completion of the Dancing Plague. If this guide helped you out at all, please don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more daily Final Fantasy XIV content. If you have any added tips you would like to leave for new players, help them out in the comment section. As always, I will see you in the next video. Later, family. I'm out.